Okay, it's called Wait, and it's written by V. Interior, exterior, Tori's car at drive-through, day. Tori, cute, 24, enters the lot towards a drive-through restaurant. As she gets ready to turn into her spot in line, Al, average-looking 31, cuts in front of her. Tori honks and Al shrugs his shoulders and waves. Tori, what an ass. Tori pulls up to the car as close as she can get. She is trying to provoke him to look at her from his rearview mirror. Okay, so for that, I would say just for like a formatting issue, it'd be you shouldn't have all of that in bold, and you shouldn't have it all caps. All the action, the only thing you want to put in caps and action is stuff that's like really drawing the person's attention, or if it's
you want
shot
to stand out. Also,
yeah.
Honey, do you want me to get my notes out, or do you have the ones I sent you as well, just in case you miss anything?
Oh yeah, go ahead and get them out.
All right, good. You can keep going.
So yeah, just as a formatting issue, it'd be oh, hold on, someone's entering. I'll pull up the chat too, actually.
Oh, one note you forgot to add. Make clear. Oh, but is this later?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what is the note?
Make clear Tori is in the car in the description. So it's probably like directly.
Oh yeah, like okay. So you just want to make sure, like obviously she's in the car, but you just want to make sure that Tori enters the lot at the drive-through restaurant. You want to make sure we know she's in the car, like she drives into it, like it's not her walking into the drive-through, which is just like seems pretty obvious, but it's just like to be extra clear. They always say to be extremely clear in your script to make sure that it comes across exactly what you're trying to say.
Just so that there's no doubt in the director's mind, like, oh, this is where the actors are supposed to be. This is how the scene's supposed to be set, that kind of thing.
All right. Tori pulls out.
Oh, don't feel bad, by the way. These are like mistakes that everyone makes, especially like when we're transitioning from writing like we normally write to writing a script. There's just so many little technical things and like little details that you wouldn't normally add if you were just writing a story. So
yeah, like with the short story, it's a lot different. So it's a lot harder to get into the
mindset, and it takes a while for it to like you to automatically think about stuff like that instead of like in the moment. Instead, you have to reread and be like, oh, this must be missing and that, you know. It'll just take a while for those things to be natural in your mind.
Okay. Tori pulls out a list with various orders to place. We cut to Al. Al should be all oh no, it shouldn't. Sorry, he was already introduced. All right. Al, he is listening to the stats from a recent baseball game. Interior, exterior, Al's car. So that slug line, it needs to have continuous at the end as like the time of day. It's not day or night, it's continuous because it's right after the last scene. You always want to have the time of day, guys, in your slug lines. And if it's right after the last one, you put continuous so that they know this is all at once.
Yeah, that's one mistake that almost everyone made. And it's just so that you don't have to keep saying day, day, day. Like if it's during the same time, you can just be continuous. Like it's the same time we said before.
Yeah, but the slug line has interior, exterior, Al's like the location and the time of day. That's the three things in a slug line.
Yeah.
Al is focused on the car ahead of him. Al, come on. Cut to exterior drive-through. The driver ahead of Al pulls up to place his order. Drive-through attendant voiceover. What can I do for you? Driver's window is jammed, so he gets out to place order. Cut to driver's back seat with items piled up to almost the roof of the car. Al squints looking at the items through the driver's rear window. The driver steps forward as junk falls out. The oddly dressed man is ordering while picking up and throwing the stuff back into his car. Driver. Yeah, let me hear your specials. The drive-through attendant starts rambling about everything on the menu. Al watches the man from inside his car. Interior, exterior, Al's car. Al, a life vest? Seriously? Cut to interior Tori's car. Tori, two jackasses. Tori grabs her phone to text. Text
That
graphic.
part made me
Laura.
giggle.
So
when I
when
read
you
it the
say
first
text
time.
graphic to Laura, are you meaning like on the screen it pops up as like a text bubble, or that there's text that goes across the screen, or that we show Tori's phone on the screen? Okay. So I think that is how you would do it then, text graphic. to
Yeah,
Laura.
that was something we were going to look up. I think we did look up something on it.
Yeah. All right, stuck at drive-through. We'll be there ASAP. Angry emoji. Oh, we also did we send you the I think we found a way to do it, and we found like some link, but I don't know if I sent it to you yet. There's a link to like how to do text in a script, but I'm not sure if this is correct or not. I'll have to look. Anyway, exterior drive-through. 4 minutes later, and the man is still. So that needs to be probably in the slug line. 4 minutes later would be like later or something like that, and so that we know time has passed. Because if it's just in the action, it's not going to come through in the actual scene. So we need to find a way to make it feel like time has passed, whether it's like a some kind of fade or some kind of cue in the script or like in the scene, which would show that it's been a little bit later. But yeah, the man is still choosing from the menu and asking questions while standing against the car door. Driver: so what's really in the secret sauce? Cut to interior, Al's car. Al: I've got your secret sauce. Al turns off the car, gets out, and approaches the man. So the man, you would need to put driver. You always want to be consistent with the characters, because when we're going through it like we did last week when I was going through mine and we're finding all the characters, we don't want to mark driver and man separate. We want to make sure
If
we
they're
know
the same person, they should have the same name all throughout so that they know who they're talking about and which character is in that scene.
Yeah, we just don't want to like think that we need 3 actors when we only need 2, that kind of thing.
There have been occasions, however, for example, like in the case of the drive-through guy, like you talk about him as just the man in the drive-through at first because we don't know who he is yet. But when when we see him, it changes to Josh because it's Josh the whole time.
I think his name is Jake.
Jake, sorry. It's Jake the whole time. So I have seen examples of that. Like it shows after the person's name is revealed or after the person is revealed, it shows their name up top.
I guess that would make sense to be used in like
she says, so not continuous, but later as slug line, 4 minutes, driver. I had it throughout, but when he gets out car, I changed it to man.
Right, so you want to keep it as either driver or man just to make sure we know it's the same person. So we know for sure that we don't need 2 actors, we just need the one. So it would be either driver or man, and I guess it would probably stay driver, because even though he gets out of his car, he was still just a driver, driver 1 or whatever his little side role is. And then the later would be a good way to put it in your slug line just to show that a little bit of time has passed, and then the director can choose what to do instead of putting it in the action, because you don't pay attention to that as much as you do the slug lines when you're reading through a script.
That makes sense.
And then what was the list? The other thing.
Holy crap, what is that?
What?
What's that noise?
Somebody eating? Some kind of noise. I don't know. All right.
Let's see, who's not muted? Sarah's the only one who's not.
Maybe it's
Are you
like,
eating, Sarah?
no, I'm at work and there's background
What the
noise
heck?
off
What
on
noise
the
is
other
that?
stage. No,
Yeah,
it's like
it might
probably,
be. Yeah, that might be what it is.
it's just background noise. It's far away.
Okay.
If it's really bothersome, I can mute myself, but if not, then
No, you're good if you want to continue commenting. All right. Exterior drive-through. Al.
Just so we know what it is.
Hi,
Yeah.
the secret sauce is mayonnaise and ketchup. I'm one of 5 cars behind you. Is there a way to speed things along? Driver: I'm going to stop you right there. I'm a paying customer and it is my right to ask questions. The drive-through attendant sounds muffled while slowly listing all the items on the menu. Cut to.
If any
Okay,
of you
so
have ever worked in service, you know there are people like that and they're a pain.
with that, story-wise, I would say since it's minutes later, I feel like we would have to give the drive-through attendant something else to say, because if they're still listing off all the menu items, it would be like, I feel like that's a huge menu if it's 4 minutes later and they're still going through the menu.
Yeah.
So it's just story-wise, time-wise, within the story, it would be, they'd probably be saying something else like, huh, what was that? I don't know, just anything like that. Okay, interior, exterior, Tori's car. Oh, also, since we are skipping back and forth between Tori's car, the man's car, and the drive-through, I think a better way to set this all up so we don't have to keep doing cut to might be saying like intercut, and then like start an intercut, which would be like a back and forth between 2 or 3 different places that are the same. And then whenever we're talking about Tori, we would know that she's in her car. And then whenever we're talking about the other 2, we would know where they are. So then we just go back and forth between that. We just have to, when you do that, you set up the location beforehand, and then you would say begin intercut and do your whole scene so that they know they can choose when to skip back and forth between everybody's location. All right. Tori, what is Sato? SOTTO? So intercut would be in place of a cut to in a way that it would be like.
Oh, she was talking to herself. And she's asking, would intercut be in the place of cut to? I thought Soto was the word. Soto?
No,
What does that
I don't
mean?
know. Maybe I've never heard of that, but you could put like in parentheses down in the down where the dialogue is, like around here.
Mumbles to herself.
Like mumbles are to herself, and then the reader would know. And intercut would be like you would put it. Basically, you would say interior, exterior, Tori's car. You would say exterior drive-through. You would set up like the first. Let me see. You'd set up Al's car. You'd set up the drive-through, and you would set up Tori's car like this, and you would describe what you just did. And then you could say like begin intercut, because the rest of the scene is taking place between those 3 locations. So it's just going back and forth between all 3 of them at the same time. And that gives it shortens the script a little bit so that it's not extending it past how long it'll really be. And it is saving you from having to put interior, exterior all over the place, because you would just be able to leave those out. We already know where they are now. And then,
How do you do that? Do the intercut when you have a situation like that?
So like in this, or if you're having like 2 people on a phone, like a phone call or something like that, it would just be, you would describe one character and their location. You'd be like, Sarah's room. And then you'd describe V's room. And then you'd be like, Sarah and V talk back and forth on the phone. And then you go begin intercut, and you'd put it like like where this is. And you put it all caps, and the one that we saw underlined it, but some don't. So I don't think underlining it is all that important.
A rule or anything like that?
But it just makes it stand out. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It'd be like that. It wouldn't be a scene heading. It would be a they call it something else, but it would look like a scene heading. It just wouldn't have like the exterior little, like if you're using cell text, they do like a gray bar around it. It wouldn't do that. It would be just like how these look, but it would be begin intercut, like you said, all caps, and then it'd either be underlined or not. And then you just do the whole scene, and at the end of it, you'd say end intercut, and that would help them to know when to stop jumping back and forth between these locations. All right, so where were we at? So to herself, and things just got interesting. Tori pulls back out her phone to start filming the two. Exterior drive-through. We see another worker, early 20s, tall, sweeping around the area. Al, listen, I'm just trying to order like everyone else, all while hopefully making it back to watch the bottom of the inning. Al continued. Oh, you don't have to do Al continued, by the way. You can combine those two and then just put like at the end of that first one, just put like ... so that it's a beat and then have him continue. The reason you would do continued is if you have some kind of action in between your dialogue, but the person's still talking while they're doing it. Otherwise, you would just combine the two dialogues and put little beats in between. How about I make you a deal? Driver. Yeah, and what's that? Al walks towards the man. Al, you place your order in the next minute, or the next thing you'll be picking up off the ground is your worker. Oh, excuse me, gentlemen, is there a problem? The man struggles to open the door of his car. Driver. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's your lucky day, dude. You just got saved. So with that, I think, with the driver saying it, it seems kind of out of place. It seems more like it needs to, I feel like something's missing between that little line of dialogue. And honey, do we have a note on that? I think we put something.
Oh, let me see.
About the driver's line. I think it was something like, because it works, it just doesn't, I feel like something's missing.
Oh, she did take the show don't tell that we talked about, like that note she fixed. At least in that part. Less capitalization. Let me see. You show that we are back in Al's car, then blah 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 blah. Do you mean extreme close up? Blah blah blah. Okay. Man needs to be driver in description. I'm going through all the notes that you already said.
Yeah.
Situation is missing something between Al and driver, and then you said you were going to expand on that because you needed to learn how to word it better. I was like, well, how would you word it, honey? And you were like, I don't know yet. Give me a minute.
Yeah. So because Al is coming in so aggressive, I feel like the driver, I don't know, it just feels like the driver wasn't
I know what you mean, though. It seems like he goes from like being like, I don't know where the guy's like all angry with him, and then he's out entering his car. Like, is he scared? Is he, first of all, we don't know that. And it doesn't like say, oh, the man makes an annoyed face and closes his and gets in his car, or makes a scared face and goes and gets in his car. Like, maybe that would be helpful, like just to explain like what just happened. Like, why did the man go in his car? Did he get scared? Did he get annoyed? Was he just sick of, like, he didn't want to fight?
Right.
Maybe
Yeah,
something
it's
like
just
that?
that's just the only thing I was just like trying to figure out a way to kind of get it. If you add like a line of dialogue for the driver, I feel like it could also help, just for him to like start, if he starts fighting with Al before the worker says excuse me, maybe that'll be a better. You can be like, oh yeah, come bring it on. You want some? You want to try some of this or something? And then he's like, yeah, that's what I thought. Because Al, I feel, I know what it is. Al would need to be the one that's backing away a bit after the worker says, is there a problem? And that would cause the driver.
Another thing that could help is also he's still mad. Like, he could make like a face that he's annoyed, but he doesn't want to pick a fight because he's just like, it's not worth it. And then he just like, he can look at him like with an angry face, and just after the man says, excuse me, gentlemen, he can just like look at him mad and get in his car. Like, this isn't worth it type of thing.
Yeah, I think it still works. Like I said, like if Al just
no, I'm just trying to see what we could add to make it, to like take care of whatever's missing. I'm trying to figure out.
Like Al backing off. He immediately shuts up when the guy says it, and he backs off and like stands still, like formally. Then that could make the driver.
Oh yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah. You're talking all big and tough, but when someone else comes over here, that can make it be a little bit better.
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, good idea. Because like 1 minute he's all tough, like I'm gonna, and then the other guy's like, excuse me, and he's like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Okay. The man struggles to open.
She said, yeah, that's the tone I was looking for. Yeah, she said that's exactly what she was trying to do.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah,
maybe
that
just
would be
like
a way to better like show how the situation's playing out.
so maybe just an action description, like Al takes a step back.
Yeah.
Just add that and boom, you're done.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's your lucky day, dude. You just got saved. The man driver gets back in the car and drives off. Al, the nerve of that guy. Thank you. Worker. Sure, you can go ahead and order now. Thank you. Loud honking from the other cars. I feel like they'd be honking the whole time, right?
Yeah,
I
but
get
you
what you're
can
saying.
just
Like,
add.
it totally would be honking. But I was just like, wouldn't they be honking before that too, though? Like, come on.
Yeah, but you don't want it to be like super long with it, like here honks, here honks. I mean, you can like in action, but you can just be like cars continue to honk behind them.
Yeah.
You can say
Interior
that.
Tori's car. But that's how you point out stuff in action description there. Like that, this one is perfect. The
Yeah.
honking from the other cars, and it like shows like what's happening and points out honking, and that's like a good way to point out things in dialogue. All right. Interior Tori's car. Tori says to the worker, so in this one we were confused because we were like, how far away is the worker from her in this situation? Because
From her car.
if he's
Because
up
it seems like
2 or
she
3
was 2 cars
cars,
behind
she would be kind of needing to yell.
for the
And
worker to hear her, because she was 2 cars behind, right?
yeah, she was behind Al, and then Al went up to the
the
driver
Yeah.
who was at the drive-through ordering. So if a
Unless the
worker's
cars
over
are
there
like
with
really
him,
smushed.
they just need to be explained that the worker comes walking towards Tori, or that Tori is whatever their distance is. It needs to be kind of explained.
Not too far. He's like on the side. Since a drive-through, he walks away from Al. Tori is right behind Al.
Okay, then it just needs to be explained how the worker starts walking towards Tori's car, like just a little description to explain where.
Yeah, like her car walks closer, drives closer, not walks. Her car drives closer towards it, and then she said that.
Yeah.
There, that would fix it.
All right, Tori. I would have waited a little longer just to see that guy get flipped. Exterior drive-through. The worker makes eye contact with Tori.
That's what we said. We literally said like, Tori's a psycho. She wants to be.
I want to see them pound each other's brains out. Worker, just doing my job. The worker stopped sweeping. Worker continued. Hey, aren't you interning at Trends 40? Cut to interior Tori's car. Tori is surprised. Tori, how do you know that? Interior exterior drive-through. The worker takes off his hat. Worker, it's me, Jake. Okay, so this is what we were saying. Like the worker, we need in the script to know it's Jake the whole time, because even though in the scene we won't know until he says Jake. For breakdowns
and that's like what I was gonna ask you, honey, because I have seen script examples. I was like, I think we need to research this, because I have seen script examples where the name is only revealed after the character's name is revealed.
That's usually a mystery when you're trying to keep people out of the loop in the script itself as well, so that they get into the story. If there's a reason we shouldn't know his name, then yeah. But I feel like
I've seen it in examples of. I've seen it in examples different. I've seen it like someone is coming towards them. They see it's so and so. Like somewhat a person is walking towards them, and then they see it's so and so, and then it shows the name on the bottom. So like until they
I feel like it's just easier to, like, if it's not important to leave, like, I don't know. I feel like if it's not important for the reader, like the script, because the script's not going to be seen on screen. It's going to be whatever was the pictures and the recording and everything. So I feel like if the name's not important to be left out for the reader or the executive or whoever you're trying to get to read it, then you might as well name the character.
Yeah, but you're reading it in this. If you're reading it in the beginning and it's like the drive-through guy, Jake gives him the thing, then the reader assumes that she knows who he is because she's seeing him. because it's from her
No, 'cause then
POV.
when you get to the dialogue, you see, oh, she doesn't know who it is. It's, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna look more into that. I'm gonna like check out some more scripts. Just like I was telling you, I think next semester we should also pick another script to study, just so that we can take these scripts and use them as examples more.
Mhm.
So I'll look into that and I'll answer you guys. Not saying that that code is wrong. Just saying that like it's always good to double check these things, just in case, because I feel like the more we're looking into this, the more we're seeing that writers have different ways of writing even scripts
Mhm.
from the looks of it.
No, yeah, like it's
So
good to look it up. Like I'm not saying I'm
yeah,
right. I was just saying from my point of view, I think that way. If you did want to leave it like that, I would just say what, like you said, Lania, in your chat just then, you would say like the worker takes off his hat and Tori sees that it is all caps Jake because we're introducing Jake, you know.
yeah, that's a good way to do it.
So if you want to leave it like aloof, of he's just a worker, and then she realizes it's someone she knows, that would be the way to do that. All right. But yeah, Priscilla, if you look it up, and then we can let everybody know maybe next week or whenever we find it.
I'll set a reminder for it.
All
Sorry
right.
guys, I'm not like this. I like to be really thorough with these things. You guys should you guys probably know that by now. Pretty
But what if I said
thorough
Jake
with my
work a
research.
drive-through? What do you mean?
Oh, it's good.
You said like in the character name, or what do you mean? Like Jake works a drive-through? Yeah, you
No,
can do that. Like I said, like if it's not important to leave who it is out, you can do that. That would work perfectly because then we know who Jake is and why he's in the scene.
yeah, maybe. I think what she means is like when there is that scene, like the person in the drive-through, Jake, who works at the drive-through, says, "Everything okay, guys?" or something like that. I think that's what she might mean. I don't know how to explain it, but like, oh, she said it.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
beginning.
that would be the way to do it because then we know who he is. Like what you just
Yeah.
said. Like in the beginning, it would be naming him all along. So
Yep.
in the beginning, yeah, you could say like Jake working in the drive-through or a worker at the restaurant or the fast food place or whatever, and then you it explains who he is and why he's there, and then later on he can say like, yeah, I'm Jake, and then all that. Okay, so this part, Tori's had a crush on him for a few months. Jake often delivers lunch to her office, but obviously not this time. That is not going to come across on the screen at all. So we need to find a way to, it would probably be like a line of dialogue or something to get that across.
Yeah. So
Maybe
the notes we
Jake could
have
say
is like
something like,
when Tori's surprised that to see it's Jake, you can just be like, Tori makes a surprised face, or like and smiles, and showing that he was like delivering to her. Like you can have like a line of dialogue like, guess I won't be delivering your lunch today, or something like that, and then have her maybe blush, or like pull her hair behind her ear, like stuff girls do when they're shy and they like a guy, you know.
yeah,
Like
that'll
have it come
come across
across
as a scene. In
that she has a crush on him.
in the chapters that we showed from the book, that was one of the things. It was saying like movies are made of pictures. So if you're not going to see these things in a picture, then you need to change it up in the script.
Speaking of, do you want me to read it later? Because like there's always a few people that are like busy and they see it and they skim through it, or
Yeah,
I can always read it. Yeah, after we finish this, I'll read the parts of the, or if do you want me to read it now since it pertains to this?
we can wait.
Okay.
We're almost done with the script. But yeah, so this part, just this part right here, it would need to be in the lines of dialogue, like she said, like Jake could be, like, oh, I guess I won't be delivering your lunch today, and then we know that he usually delivers his lunch, and then she could be like, kind of stuttering or messing with her, like she said, doing something,
messing with her hair,
do when they're kind of like, oh, yeah, and that can show us,
oh, she likes him,
exactly what you're going for.
Someone's got a crush.
Jake, you're actually funny. I saw you pulling out your phone. Interior, exterior, Tori's car. Jake.
That was a note we had. I was like, something about that sounds a little like maybe needs, because like she's funny because she took out her phone. It's like you can be like, oh, I saw you taking out your phone with like a little smirk and a smile at her or something like that. I think that maybe would help. Cause I don't know, it just for us, it was like, you're funny because you took out your phone to record. Like I understand why, but just the way it was worded sounded a little weird, if that makes sense. She was filming the incident while the two were about to fight. Makes sense. I will change it. You make sense. Yeah. It's just because
It's
like
just,
the way
it's worded, like you're actually funny. I think there's like a different way you could like say it to make it seem more like how
yeah, I just gave an example to be like, I saw you over there like recording the whole thing.
I saw you with your phone. I saw you about to record the thing. You like this type of stuff? I don't know, something like that, like he's teasing her still.
Were you enjoying the show? Saw you recording it, that kind of thing, like
I heard that bleep.
A little back and forth.
I heard that bleep from the phone.
Bleep?
Like, you know how when you press the record button, it makes a beeping sound.
Oh, well, he obviously didn't hear the bleep because he was like all over there.
3 cars up.
Yeah.
Okay, but
he could have seen her recording through like
exterior Tori's car. Jake at the car window. Tori tries to keep her cool. Tori, what else was I supposed to do? Hopefully my boss will understand the delay with proof, and if that fails, I can at least profit from the views by posting it online. Beat. So with the beat, you could just do like a ... and it would show the same. That just means beat. Al finishes his order and drives off. The two start flirting. So that's another like tell instead of showing. We need to just like in the dialogue itself, it'll show that they're flirting. So you shouldn't need to put that.
Yeah, like that example I gave of like, I see you recording, or her back and forth, like that example that you gave, like she worded it pretty well. That it sounds like they're like kind of joking with each other.
Well, no, I mean like they're getting ready to start flirting, but that's why you don't need to put the two start flirting in the description.
Yeah, I'm just saying like it's building up to a little flirtation. We can see that already. And then you can like make a little dialogue of them just going back and forth, like joking with each other. You flirted, you probably know how it is. Or maybe, yeah, like I'm terrible at flirting, but just think about the times you flirted successfully or someone you know has flirted successfully and try to make that. I would be terrible at writing flirting scenes.
Jake, well, tell you what, why don't you let me comp this order? Tori pulls out the list. Tori, that's very sweet, but this is a big one. Jake's eyes widen after looking at the list. Jake, we can't both end the day with getting fired. Jake smiles. Cut 2. No cars are ahead of Tori. Tori, flirty. Wow, now I'm holding up the line. Beat. Jake, how about
That's a good example of a parenthetical right there as well. Like showing that, because she's saying it in a flirty way, as I'm like, huh, guess I'm holding up the line now, huh? Like that kind of thing. Like it's a good example of a parenthetical.
So we know how to read it. Jake,
really good.
How about a drink? Tori, like a soda? Jake, I was thinking more like Friday for happy hour. Oh, yes, sure, I can drink. I meant Jake places his hand on hers. Jake.
See, that's a great example. That's a really good way of like showing that she's flustered and she definitely likes him. And
yeah,
he's
it comes across in the dialogue, so yay.
No, you have a lot of good examples on here, like good examples of parentheticals, some good dialogue, some good like I know that it sounds like a lot when we're like critiquing and like giving little notes, but it really isn't. Like the overall thing was really good. We giggled and chuckled quite a few times. We kind of got into the story, and that's really the main thing, the main takeaway.
Yeah, so we like the overall thing, we like what's going on, and we like how it's set up. All right, Jake places his hand on hers. Jake, Great. So I'll meet you after you pull around. We can exchange numbers and go from there. Sound good? Tori, I'd like that. The shift manager exits the side door, talks to Jake, shift manager. All right, let's go. There's a big mess in the bathroom. It's disgusting. Jake looks embarrassed. Beat. Jake. You know, maybe I should comp your order. Tori. Maybe you need that drink more than I do. Jake and Tori part ways. Tori finally places her order. She pulls the car around to see Jake at the drive-thru.
Again with the order in exclamation mark.
Yeah, that shouldn't be needed because placing her order isn't like a.
An example would be like he honks at her. Like that would probably be an exclamation mark. Or is right? That would be a good example.
Yeah, just like if it's a noise or if it's a very specific thing, but if it's just like something like her, the whole thing is her doing something. So
said she was trying to note it was a prop.
Oh, okay.
You don't need the exclamation mark to note it was a prop. You do that with the scene breakdown later. If I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it's an important thing that if you're showing the list as she pulls it out, that would be.
Oh yeah, he sees the big list of stuff like.
Yeah,
maybe.
like that was a good one to have.
Yeah.
Caps, but if it's just placing her order, it's not consistent with list, so it's not exactly the same thing. And second.
And same thing with like pulls the car around to see Jake at the drive-through window in all caps as well.
Yeah, because that's just a thing we would highlight later instead of having it all caps. All right, cut to Tori. Hello again. I thought you'd still be cleaning. Oh yeah, so that was also like, how long is it supposed to have been between her order and pulling up to the window?
I joked and I was like, she should add like, I hope you washed your hands. It was so quick. It's the first thing I thought when he was like back already. I was like, oh my goodness, he just cleaned the bathroom. Hopefully he washed his hands.
Yeah, like the time is kind of I don't know. Like you could say like he didn't like, oh yeah.
Later, you can say later. You can just.
They said because you had such a big order that I needed to help with this before going over there, or I don't know, something to explain because the story time is going to be very quick on screen, and some things are going to seem weird if it's just like people are popping all around like that.
Yeah, she said I was actually thinking about him not doing the bathroom yet. So yeah, adding just that line of like, oh, your order was so big.
Throwaway dialogue that explains why he's not.
Yeah, your order was so big. They asked me to help with this first.
Yeah, thing. Something like that. All right, exterior drive-through window. Jake hands over a bag of food to Tori. Jake, I didn't want to keep you waiting. Here you go. Everything is inside. Jake winks at Tori. Excuse me. Interior, Tori's car, exterior, drive-through. Tori places the bag down on the passenger seat. Tori, got it, thank you. Tori winks back at Jake.
Also, does Tori know by everything he means his number, or does she get surprised when she sees his number later? Because I was like, if it's supposed to be like, oh, she knows. Oh, okay. Because I was like, does she know when he says everything she means his number?
It's his nudes. They're in there.
No. I was just like, I wonder. And maybe like you could add like Tori smiles at him or something like a flirty smile or something like that would be cute.
Or even a blush.
These are just, at this point, these are just suggestions. You don't have to. These are just like things that might add a little more, you know.
A cute blush would be good too. Like a cute red blush.
Like a blush, yeah, like if she blushed a little bit, that'd be.
Yeah, like she blushed and like gave a small smile. That'd be cute. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tori winks back.
Especially because he winked at her, you know, like he winked at her, and so she's like, you know.
An alert sound on Tori's phone. So the only thing in that would be capped would be like alert sound, and that's it. All right. Tori pulls into a nearby parking spot to check the alert. Interior Tori's car.
Because the thing with these exclamation marks is it also helps like the director see which, like when he's shooting a scene, if he needs to focus on a particular object or a particular sound, you know?
Yeah, because that's going to pull the attention away from everything else. And that's why you put it in all caps, is because it's something that distracts you from whatever's going on in the scene. And so that is whatever the focus is going to be shifted towards.
Oh, she winks back at Jake. She's a little more confident now. She's like, mm-hmm.
Interior Tori's car, exterior nearby lot. Reply, text graphic from Laura. No worries, it looks like there's been a change of plans for lunch. Can you just turn around and go to the office store? Tori then plays Laura's voicemail. Speakerphone recording, Laura voiceover. Are you okay? Anyway, you won't believe what just happened at the office. Where are you? Tori replies via text, graphic to Laura. Laura, sorry for the delay. I'm headed there now. Put on some coffee because we've got a lot to discuss outside of work too. Tori looks inside the bag and pulls out the note from Jake. She smiles and decides to reply via text to him. I don't want you to have to wait any longer either. It's Tori. Flirty emoji. Beat. She has a giddy moment, then looks instead of looked. Always present tense. All right, looks around to make sure no one sees her.
Oh, that's another thing that was in a lot of scripts that is completely normal as well, because like I said, we're getting used to like script format, is it has to be present tense. Always he looks at the thing. He goes to the place. And there was a lot of either past tense or future tense in a lot of the scripts as well. And yeah. we're all guilty of that. We've all done it to some degree. We all like do it sometimes.
Right. All right. So she drives off, fade out. There we go. But yeah, I liked the whole thing.
It was really cute. Yeah.
Did a really well job.
It was funny.
And the only thing, oh yeah, I forgot to read out what your things were.
I get way too invested in these things. Like I'm reading the story, imagining it in my head, and like imagining the whole story go through my head, and just seeing the scenes and getting excited at them. And like I was reading Sarah's script and I was actually like gross. I'm like, ooh, like while he was reading.
Oh guys,
like,
so this was for the random element script, and her 3 things were romantic comedy, life vest, and line of dialogue, are you okay? And so yeah, you did really well with it. The life vest, we already talked about that, how it needs to be like something he's putting on or touching so that it becomes a prop instead of a costume. But everything else, yeah, you did really well at taking that idea and those 3 things.
Yeah, also, I would like to mention that there are some changes here from the first draft, and all of them, like, this was before we even gave our feedback, and you made some really, really good changes, like the things you added on, the things you took out, like, we didn't even need to tell you, and you already made it better just with your second draft, so that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, does anybody else have any like notes, critiques, comments, compliments, constructive criticism? Yes, Colin.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say that I liked it. Like, I liked the concept and I liked a lot of the dialogue. I was gonna say that I thought there was like, there were a couple points with like the dialogue. I was thinking like, I feel like it could be changed. I don't know if you changed it already, but like there was like a point where, you know, Laura says anyway, like she says like, oh, anyway, I'm talking about, but I don't think you need the anyway. Like, I think you can just be like, you know, oh, hi, like I can't remember what the line was, but I just remember thinking you couldn't take out the anyway, and it sounds more like natural to me. I don't know if that's
like the text dialogue.
Just like kind of in general, like I feel like that was there were just a couple places where I noticed that. I can't remember. There was like another place too, but
oh yeah, that's another thing, Colin. Thanks for remembering. Guys, always do this. Read out your dialogue as if you were talking to a person, as if you were actually saying it, and see if it sounds like something people would actually say or something you would actually hear. Like if you hear someone say something like that, you wouldn't be like, what? Like that, no?
Oh yeah, that was the other thing in the book. It was like a line that he said, like, oh, hi, how are you? I'm doing fine.
Yeah, no one talks like that.
That was in the book as like an example of go back to your dialogue, see if it sounds like this, and see if everyone's saying it the same way too, because some people are going to say, hey, how you doing? Some people are going to say, you know, what's up?
Hey, how are you? What's up? Hey guys, how you doing?
I'm fine. So you always want to go into your dialogue and like see if all the characters sound different and distinct. And
That was like one of my most annoying pet peeves, like back in school, because we studied English in Brazil, and the teacher would actually teach it like that. Hello, how are you? Yes, I'm fine. I'm like, no one talks like that. It just infuriate me that, like, if you're teaching people how to speak a language, I'm not saying abbreviate everything, but at least teach them how to talk the way normal people talk.
yeah,
You know, so that was always something that was kind of like, I would always think about, like, no one talks like this.
That's
And
the first thing I was taught in Spanish.
yeah, yes.
very-
And that's why you have so many, people speaking weirdly or over formally, because at the end of the day, yes, you have to learn the words, but you also have to learn, if you're learning the language to write and to speak, I feel like you should learn to speak how people speak, you know? Like, no one's teaching Shakespearean English in regular English, you
To
know?
be or not to be, that is the question.
Yeah.
right.
So that was just something interesting that I kept thinking about. And that was a really good exercise. Anything else, Colin?
No, I was just.
Anybody else have any comments, compliments, anything?
So, if Colin wasn't finished. What were you saying, Colin?
No, I was finished.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
because it seemed like you were about to finish a word and then.
No, I saw him shaking his head now.
Oh,
No,
okay.
For me, I would say, like, it's a great script, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it just needs a little more emotion into it. Like, a little more, just like, the characters need a little more, they're a
You know,
little
it could
robotic.
just be coded as not great acting as well.
No, just like how she didn't blush, and it just and just yeah, and also the whole honking thing. That
Oh,
should be
yeah.
that should be mentioned at the beginning, and then just like
Oh,
like,
yeah,
a little-
maybe put the honking scene, the talking about like honking, maybe make it twice. Maybe make it in
and
the beginning.
and have a little
uh,
interaction with the talents as well.
Yeah, maybe have,
Like
I don't know
have
what you
them
mean by
have
interaction with the
someone
talent.
say "shut up" to them or something.
Oh, yeah, I get
They're
what you
like,
mean.
get a move on. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Something like
have some
that.
voices in the background just saying, like, get a move on, can you please, if you're going to continue talking, get out of the line.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it just needs a little more emotion, but besides that, I think it was great.
Yeah, I feel like what you can do is just add like one part talking about the
problem.
honking in the beginning, like right after, while the two guys are fighting, maybe, or while the guy while the guy is talking to the drive-through and like taking forever, like a few honks, and then another at that scene that you put the honks. I think that would be good, like having two scenes showing the honks.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about, those extra flirty scenes, and I think that would be probably the only thing I would tweak. She's okay. I can do that. Add emotion, include other notes. Thanks, Daniel. I feel good about this. Great notes. Looking forward to working on it some more.
Sarah, you guys have any opinions, comments, compliments, constructive criticisms? Any other C words that go with this?
Now you're
Oh,
just
God.
making me think now.
Concepts.
I was just gonna thank you for letting us read your script, because we were talking about that, like, oh, it would be great if we were able to like give feedback through the videos as well, to show everyone that this is normal. Like, there are little mistakes and little tweaks that we need to make, because there are some people that they think, oh my gosh, my script is horrible. I bet no one has this many notes.
Well,
Or-
I was about to say, I'm like, mine's not the greatest, but you could read mine if you want.
Yeah, like, that's great, because at the end of the day, we're all bettering ourselves. We're all working on it. We're all learning, and like, it's just super cool to see how much better we're getting just from like 2-3 drafts. Like, that's awesome, you know? It seems really daunting in the beginning, but the more you do it and the more you work at it, the more your brain gets used to that format, and the more it flows in your mind and the ideas just come.
Well, technically, if it wasn't for this little thing that you guys set up, there would be so much. It would be so different compared to what it is now. If it like everyone would be in a different mindscape.
Yeah, that's good.
But now you connected everyone into one. Now everyone's just trying to work with everyone and
Yeah.
trying to make themselves better.
Yeah, at first I didn't want to put you to work. It was helpful being able to write as you read along.
Oh yeah, no, you guys don't worry about that. Like if it's something like in the meeting or something you guys need help with, don't worry about asking us, and we'll get to it when we can. Like,
cause yeah, like sometimes we may not answer right away, but we will definitely get to it. And it's good for us too, because we're learning while we read your script and we think about how we can make it better. We also read our scripts and like, oh wait, this is also missing in my script. Oh, my script could use this too. Or, oh, this is a really good, cool thing that they did. I should take notes on that. Like we learn from you guys too. And that's so fun and cool, you know?
I'm actually trying to get myself away from all those short words now, like lol and stuff, so I don't write them in my scripts anymore.
what do you mean, like low? You said?
LOL.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like text speech? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away from that now because I'm like, I realize I keep on putting my scripts. I'm like, nope.
Because no one says it. Well, there might be some
people
weirdos
say it, but not
that say like, "Oh, LOL."
LOL.
I'm trying to say ha 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 more.
There's some people.
I've actually noticed,
We
like, in watching like some videos on YouTube, like some people will actually say, I don't know, it's what I watch. Like, have you ever seen Mario Kart Wii videos? Like, it's like
Yeah.
there's like a community. Literally, people will say like "lol." Like, it's like a
It
thing.
sounds
It's
so
really
weird.
I
It's
have
like
people
it's
in
like
my
James every
circle.
time he's like, "That's so funny." I'm like, "Is it though? You're saying it's funny, but you're not. I don't hear you laughing."
You love calling people out.
No, like I don't. I didn't mean
Just
to
like
call him out. I'm
James.
sorry, James. I love you. I'm not. I didn't mean it like that.
I just
I'm
don't
just
want to like
saying, like,
expose you all to my disgusting, obnoxious laugh.
oh, is that why you're holding
Like,
back laughter? That's bad for you,
if
honey.
someone's
Laughing
telling a
is good
joke,
for your
I'm
health.
gonna tell everybody this, because if someone's saying a joke and you feel like your laugh's ugly, it's better to have a laugh than just have someone be like, "That's funny."
Yeah, because it makes you
that's
feel
not
like crap. Like, is it though? Or are you just saying that to make me feel better?
Are you getting a pat on the head? Like, that's funny. Good job.
You know, that's
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
crazy. Like,
people that
that's
do that.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. You know, the whole thing. Like when, you know, I've seen this online before, like people say, like, you know how whenever someone tells a story, you just kind of say, that's crazy over and over again the whole time. Because, like,
Yeah.
you know, you've seen that. And I
Oh
think
wow,
that's
really? Oh wow. That's crazy. It's
wow.
It sounds like they're being condescending to, like, oh wow, that's crazy. Oh gosh. But I know they don't mean to be. I know James doesn't mean to be. It's just sometimes I feel like, am I funny, or is he just trying to make me feel better?
A little bit of both.
Jeez, that was harsh. But okay, I'll take it.
Hey, that's payback for last time.
I'll take it.
Did anybody else have a script or anything they wanted to read, or anything you guys want to talk about that you've been learning
I
recently?
give you permission for my script, so I'm not reading mine.
Oh,
I'm just driving home, but I'll read the script. I'm half done my third script if you want to get the first half.
okay.
Of course you are, Sarah. You're
Well,
crazy.
don't read while driving.
I want to
No,
read
you have to
too.
wait. You have to wait 15 minutes. I'm not.
Daniel, since we already gave you our notes, would you like to wait until Monday and rewrite it, or would you like us to read it the way it is now?
Just read it the way it is right now, and then I don't know if I'm gonna get the chance to critique it. That's the thing.
Hey,
Oh,
guys,
that's
I
fine.
also
Like,
should
if I'm
say-
not mistaken, your things were like really minor. I think there was like 4 or 5 things.
Yeah, go for it.
I
Yeah.
also should say I have work to get to, so I should probably go. But it was fun to be here.
All right, Colin.
All right,
See you
Colin,
guys
it was
on
fun
Monday.
to see
Sorry,
you.
Thank you, man.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We get it, dude. You're busy.
It's
We just
literally like the next
appreciate
2
you
weeks.
putting
I'm
us in your
sorry.
schedule.
Yeah.
You including us in your busy schedule. We feel so special.
Oh, it's fun though.
Special.
Bye, guys. It was fun
Bye,
to
Colin.
learn
See you,
from the
Colin.
script and all that
I
stuff.
feel special.
How did you send it to us,
Awesome.
Daniel? How did you email it to me? I don't remember.
I sent it over the chat. One
I
of the
sent it over the chat. Do you want me to send it to you via Messenger?
Yeah, that'll be easier because I can pull it up.
Yep.
I'm just, trying to get a lot of stuff sorted these days. Even right now, my bed is full of paperwork right now.
Oh my.
Yeah, I've been organizing all my paperwork so I can get it all prepared for the stream I'm doing and stuff.
Oh my goodness. No, what the heck? Oh, there you go. Found it. Found it.
And I'll be honest, it's not the best, but it's it was a quick work.
Hey, it was a short. That was what it was supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like, I mean, it can be deep. That was one thing that we learned from that short. If you guys didn't watch it, the video we sent, like how to write a short story, and it had the example of that short that I forgot the name of, but it was about the man with the stutter. Such a good short and such a good example of how you can make a short have emotion and have like deep meaning and stuff like that.
We
But
should
it
end up
doesn't.
thinking of watching Disney shorts.
Oh,
Disney-
you mean like
Yeah,
the
Disney
Pixar
shorts are-
shorts? Oh my
Pixar-
god,
Yeah.
the Pixar shorts.
I have some perfect examples I can send you guys too.
I love the Pixar short. The volcano one made me cry.
The space one made me cry.
Oh my, it's so sweet. Yeah, we really should, because I feel like those are such good examples of like
I
short
was
little
shocked
things.
from the the onion one or whatever it's called, the what's it called? The little pastry one.
Oh, honey, do you want me to? Which one is a little page? I'll look it up. I remember, I don't know if it was Disney, but if anyone's ever seen the short of the little match girl, oh my gosh.
I think I have, yeah.
Oh my gosh, my heart, because I knew the story, I had read the book, but it was so much more real seeing it.
Did you see the space one?
I don't remember. I think I know what you're talking about, but my memory is terrible when it comes to
Yeah.
like, yeah. Honey, before we start, you want me to read the pages because we said we would?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let me just get them real quick. They bust. There you go. Okay. So, but please don't mind my reading. Like I'm zooming in on my phone, so like I'm zooming and then I'm going sideways and then I'm going back and then I'm going sideways. So my reading may be a little crappy. Honey, what you doing here? Oh, okay. Also, there's a sock on the floor and it's driving me crazy whenever you leave. So please take that out of the floor. Please, thank you, lovely. Okay. In adjunct, I think it's like adjunct is an adjunct position. I never heard that word by itself. But in adjunct to this rule of bad dialogue is show, don't tell. Another of the most frequent mistakes found in newbie screenplays. You can say more about a relationship in trouble by seeing a husband eye a pretty young thing as he and his wife are walking down the street than by 3 pages of dialogue about how their marriage counseling sessions are going. Movies and stories. Dakota, maybe you can read it because you're right here and you don't need to zoom because this is going to take forever.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey guys. All right. Where are you at?
You can start the whole thing over.
An adjunct to this rule of bad dialogue is show, don't tell. Another of the most frequent mistakes found in newbie screenplays. You can say more about a relationship in trouble by seeing a husband eye a pretty young thing as he and his wife are walking down the street than by 3 pages of dialogue about how their marriage counseling sessions are going. Movies are stories told in pictures. So why would you resort to telling us when you can show us? It's much more economical. You want to make sure the audience knows about a guy's New York Giants past. Show team pictures on the wall of his apartment. Give him a limp. All right, well that's his like thing. But let me see. I think you have these out of order.
No, it's after that.
Oh, give him the limp that ended his career, but only if it's germane. Germane?
I don't know what that is.
Sneak it in with subtle references. Want to make sure we know a fight has occurred between two people? Have them talk about anything but the fight. If handled right, the audience will get it. There are a lot more perceptive than you think. By showing and not telling, you have room for your characters to be at their best. That's being active, with their own separate agendas for being there, not yours. The truth is that movies are so much about what happens that we must learn about characters by what they do, not by what they say. As in life, character is revealed by actions taken, not by words spoken. And in a good movie, information doesn't come out in dialogue. It comes out in the verve and forward motion of the story. You must get all of your wonderful plot and backstory on the fly, or better yet, not at all. You should be more concerned with what's happening now than what happened before the story even started. So when you feel yourself drifting into talking the plot, don't. And when you think you're talking too much, show, don't tell. And then they have like the hi, how are you? I'm fine. Flat dialogue even happens to good movies. But your script will never be a movie if you have a dull, lifeless repartee. And when you find yourself reading page after page of this placeholder talk, you know you're in trouble. You're bored. And that is, wait for it, bad. Absolutely. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. Tells us just how boring flat dialogue can be and what a waste of space it is. Flat dialogue is the kind that anyone can say. And odds are that if your script is full of lines that are right out of real life, that ring true but ring dull, you're not working hard enough to make the characters come to life. Because odds are that if your dialogue is flat, so are the people speaking it. Engaging characters talk differently than you and I. They have a way of saying things, even the most mundane things, which raise them above the norm. A character's dialogue is your opportunity to reveal character and tell us who this person is as much as what he's saying. How someone talks is character and can highlight all manner of that character's past, inner demons, and outlook on life. Every time a character speaks is your chance to show that. If you don't think you have flat dialogue, try a simple trick I learned from my mentor. After reading one of my early scripts, he broke the news to me. Your characters are all the same. Well, naturally, I was insulted. I was ticked. And young bullhead that I was, I did not believe him. What did he know? Then Mike showed me this simple bad dialogue test. Take a page of your script and cover up the names of the people speaking. Now read the repartee as it goes back and forth between two or more characters. Can you tell who is speaking without the name above the dialogue? The first time I tried it, there in his office, I was stunned. Dang, he was right. I couldn't tell one of my characters from the others. And then and there, I figured out something else too. All the characters had my voice. In a good script, every character must speak differently. Every character must have a unique way of saying even the most mundane, hi, how are you, I'm fine, kind of chat. If you are having any nagging doubts about any of the above, you now know what to do. You have the tools to go back in and fix it. But will you? That's the rub. Here's the tip. When in doubt, do it. Odds are that if you or your initial batch of readers have found problems with your screenplay, everyone else will too. Don't be lazy. Don't say, oh, well, no one will notice, because they will. It is better to be brilliant now and have the guts to fix your mistakes before your script's sitting on Steven Spielberg's desk. You only get the one shot at a first impression. Try to get over the love affair you have with yourself and get to work. God knows I'm in love with myself 1,000 times. Do what needs to be done. This is what separates the pros from the wannabes, and that nagging voice that says it sucks, and the mature adult professional voice that quickly chimes in, and I know how to fix it. Yeah.
You know? Okay. So yeah, this book is so good. Even when you
Tell Brent that I'm gonna add him in a second.
yeah.
That's awesome. What's
Yeah.
that from?
That's Save the Cat. It was chapter 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best chapter.
Best chapter so far. So good. One second. And yeah, like we said, there are some things that are formulaic and some things that don't always work, either because it was written for that time or that genre of movie that he's used to working on. But that doesn't mean that it's not helpful, even if it's just for you to learn a rule so you can learn how to break it later. So it's a book that we recommend for those that haven't read yet. And if you guys want to join the book study at any time, after we finish, we're on the last chapter of Save the Cat. After we finish this last chapter, we will start on the Anatomy of Story for anyone that's wanting to read that as well.
Fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really, really good book. We made sure to buy all the best ones and even some in between.
I have all sorts of books that I want to read. That's why I'm glad. That's why we started the whole book study thing.
Yeah, of course, like if you don't have time for it now, it's completely fine. But if it interests you and you don't have time to read it now, you can always like buy it and read it on your own time and then discuss with us if you'd like to. Like, hey, what did you think of this? Hey, so I'm reading this. This is interesting. This is my take on it. Or you can read it later in life and talk to us about it later. You know, these kinds of things like are just good to know and good to have. Good resources for anyone that wants to and can.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna start.
Daniel. Hey, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, right, guys. Sorry I'm so late.
No, it's fine. You're a busy man.
All right. Midday afternoon radio station. So right there, the slug line needs to be interior, exterior, one of the two.
Oh, Brent, for you that's coming now, we were reading Lania's script and we were giving our feedback. If you haven't read it yet, you can ask for her to send it to you via email, or we can see if she'd be comfortable with us sharing it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, if she wants, you can send it to her email.
Oh, or you can watch the recording as well, because we give the feedback.
Yeah. Oh, you are right.
You can watch the recording later. And now we're reading Daniel's first draft of the script as well, and we're giving feedback.
Okay.
And we thought it would be really good because to show that, you know, everyone's working on it. Like we have good things and not so great things. We all make mistakes. We're learning this format now. So these mistakes are completely normal. And
Absolutely.
These are just like, because it's not natural for us to write this way. So we shouldn't be so hard on ourselves. This is a completely different way of writing than the way we learned in school.
Absolutely.
You know?
Okay, are you ready?
And we're getting so much better. Like if you read people's first drafts and second drafts, so much growth, so much better. So like we can't wait to read yours as well. Like it's gonna get better. At first it seems daunting, but with every try it gets better and better. You may not be the master of it or the best at it, but you will get better.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Yeah, go ahead, honey. Sorry, I just wanted to like reiterate that for him since he's coming in now.
Yeah, you're good. All right. So midday afternoon radio station. The slug line that needs to be flipped. It needs to be in interior or exterior first, followed by the location, followed by the time of day. Anyway, the team was eating lunch. So there you go. Like that past tense needs to be present tense. The team is eating lunch. While Jesse and Bob, since Jesse and Bob are just now introduced, they need to be all caps. Just finished eating and they were heading back to the booth. And they walk by the tables. Bob, everyone, we are live in 30 minutes, so please be ready in 20. Jesse looks at everyone, smiles, and sees somebody putting peanut butter on their apple. So that's somebody. That somebody needs to be the actual character, so we know who it is when we're going to go film it, and we block it out. So we need to know who the somebody is. For the breakdown and everything. Somebody putting peanut butter on their apples. She looks at them in a grossed out face. Jesse, ew, that's so gross. Tom, it's not gross. It's rather good. You should try it.
Yeah, that was another example we gave of like, who says rather? Maybe Canadians? Because
it's a huge word in Canada, so you're probably
really?
Right.
That's what we were wondering. Because I was like, I'm sure Britons say that a lot. Americans don't.
Good.
So,
but I'm also British too. So
yeah, we were just like, unless it it didn't sound natural to us. We were like, do people say rather in Canada?
Yeah, I hear it all the time, so I never actually thought about that.
Oh, the other thing I just noticed, Tom would need to be introduced somewhere in the action before he starts speaking.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's the somebody, obviously. So he would be the all caps Tom. So we know. Yeah. It's not gross. It's rather good. You should try it. Jesse, no, that's not right. Tom, come on, try a small bite. Tom stands up.
That's not right as well.
What was that?
Did they say that's not right as well?
No, I think I stole that from King of the Hill, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
That's
Because I was like, if I thought something was gross, I wouldn't be like, that's not right. I'd be like, ew, that's disgusting, or that's gross.
I'll tell you what, that boy ain't right.
Okay.
Okay, so like maybe just put like, no, that's disgusting, or no, that's gross, or like something like that.
All right. Tom stands up and has a small piece on the knife. Everyone starts chanting, "Try it."
Good to ask, because maybe like Canada, they speak different.
Try it.
She looks very sick and grabs the piece and eats it, and her eyes light up in delight. But she quickly changes her attitude. Jesse, it's okay. Not the best, but it's all right.
Kind of like Squidward the first time he ate a Krabby Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I pictured in my head when he did that.
Tom smirks. Jesse and Bob. Midday afternoon radio station. Next day lunchtime. So like we already gave this note to you, but the next day could be up into the slug line. So it'd be interior radio station next day. And then there you could already have, if everyone's eating lunch when he goes in, then we'll know it's lunchtime. So both those things should be kicked out.
That'll also help reduce your script as well, which it's already short. It doesn't need to be, but yeah.
Tom walked in and turned on the radio while everyone was eating lunch again, but this time Jesse was not there, and Tom went to get his peanut butter from the pantry, but it was missing. So this is all a lot of description that like it's not going to come through on the screen. When he walked in and he looks at everybody.
You can be like, Tom walks in, goes to the fridge,
and
looks for his peanut butter, and then you can be like having him walk back and forth.
Or you can be like, Tom glances back and forth at the empty lunchroom, or something like that. And then
in the fridge, if the peanut butter is in the fridge or in the pantry, you can be like, he glances around the pantry, confused.
Yeah. To be honest, I actually thought I wrote that. I thought he looked in confusion. It looked confused, but
it was missing. Tom turns to the fridge and gets his apple. It's just because but it was missing. It's not going to really come through on the screen as much.
Yeah.
I
get that.
Description. Yeah. All right. So Tom turns to the fridge and gets his apples, and they were not there as well. Tom looks in at everyone in a confused state. Tom, has anyone seen my apples or peanut butter? Everyone looks at nods their head in an honest no. Junior, maybe it was thrown away? Tom, who would have? Then Tom remembered he had shared his apples the other day. Then he thought he may investigate and seek out the crime scene. He found some apple cores and followed to the booth. So this would be a lot.
So maybe just the wording of that, make it a little more clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need to add a more like we said, like expanding it, like saying close up on an apple core, and then like there's apple cores in a line, and he's like following it.
Looks down and sees apple cores on the floor. He follows the line to see what was her name again?
Jesse.
I'm terrible with names.
I was trying to avoid saying Jesse and James. I wanted to say that so badly.
But like he looks down, follows the trail, looks up and sees Jesse lying asleep, covered in peanut butter. That kind of thing.
And found the missing jar near the door. He opens the door to see Jesse in the corner, covered in peanut butter, and she was asleep in the corner. Tom smirks and puts a coat on her. Tom, I knew you would like it. Ha ha ha. In the end, fades to black.
Yeah, it was really cute and funny.
Yeah, it's a really simple, short sketch that would be kind of fun to just film it and see.
Yeah, it'd be cute. Kids would love it. Like it would be a really funny short to have like before a PG movie or before an animated movie, like be really cute.
Yeah.
I sent you both the links I was telling you about, by the way, to both your messengers.
Do what?
Sent you both the links I told you about, the Disney or Pixar shorts.
Oh, cool. Okay. Check them out
later. Yep.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna look those up anyway. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any comments or anything on Daniel's script? Or I think Charisma, did you say you wanted to read one, by the way?
Sure.
Okay. Did you want to like share your screen, or you want to just read it while we listen, or how do you want to do it?
I'll share my screen.
Okay. I think I have it set to let you do that. Let me see. Oh, let me do this. Hold on. All right, try now.
All right. Screen. Is it working?
No. You do like if you did you click the little green button at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, it's working.
Okay. Y'all can see my screen, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'll start reading. If it's too long, just tell me to stop.
What's the
All
page
right.
count, by the way?
Shoot, I forgot because I copied it from Celtic X and then I continued because it kept blinking and like throwing me out.
Oh yeah.
It should be
Oh, it says-
shorter
Oh yeah,
than
apparently on the
Devastator.
phone it sucks. Mine does the same thing. I'm having trouble even sending it via email to Coda because it's not letting me.
Yep, it blinks, right? It blinks and kicks you
Mhm.
out. Huh? I hate
Yeah,
that.
it's so weird because for Coda it works just fine. So he thought I was messing. I was like, I was making up excuses or something, and I was like, no.
I'm gonna put it in print layout form. Let's see, 1, 2. Oops. The
But
heck?
if you
1,
have
2,
a
3,
laptop
4,
or a
5,
computer,
6, 7.
it
So
works.
it's 7 pages, and then like the 8th page has a few words. It's small. It's shorter than
Oh,
the
that's
last.
good. Yeah, it's perfect. Right in the middle of what we said. That's good.
I mean, from the
Okay.
looks of it, though, it seems like it would probably be about 10 or so with the cell text separation. But still fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to go as long as the last one. I was trying to just do one short story and that's it. Like nothing, no continuing, no nothing.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but what you can do is like if you have a laptop or computer, you can try it on there, or another app. What was the app, honey, you were talking about that you were gonna get for me?
Oh, the one that was like $10. It was called Final Draft on the Final Draft Mobile or something.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you don't have one, that would probably be a really good investment. Because it's pricey for an app, but it's like affordable enough to where like you're gonna use it a lot, so you might as well have it if you can.
Yeah, I got a laptop, but I can't for some reason. Zoom doesn't download on there. It's weird.
No, like you don't need Zoom. You just need Celtex. Like if Zoom doesn't download on it, it's fine. But if you can get Celtex on it, it'll be much easier for you to work on your script on Celtex on your computer because it works much better than on the phone.
Oh, it doesn't blink out when you use a computer?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. At least not for me. So I hope it doesn't for everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On a Coda's computer, it works fine. So hopefully it works fine. I mean, it's supposed to. I mean, come on. If it doesn't,
I don't think it would be used as much if it was kicking everybody out as much as it does on the phone.
Yeah. So hopefully the laptop it'd work better. So let us know if that helps you.
But yeah, you
All
can go
right.
ahead and start.
Okay. Bear with me. Okay. Exterior, outdoor eating area of Poppy's Pizzeria, 3:15 p.m. in Montgomery, Alabama. David Gutierrez, a 28-year-old Hispanic man, is patiently waiting for Bo Thompson, a 37-year-old Black man, to return from the restroom. David is 5'1", skinny, with jet black hair with bleach highlights that cascades over his shoulders. His eyes are green, yet red from many nights of sleep deprivation. David. Just breathe, David. It can't get any worse. Bo steps through the revolving door of a unisex bathroom and dries his hands on his red corduroy pants. His 5'9" average frame leans against the trash can as he checks his cell phone. He watches for David from afar, sighs, and heads towards their table. Bo. Goodness, sorry about that.
You're good.
I know, right? These girls are blowing my phone up. Anyway, DG, the calzones ain't came yet? David, timidly. No. Bo, it's been half an hour already. I thought dropping a log would pass the time. Guess not. David forces a smile, then rubs his eyes. Bo, you don't seem like yourself. Been up all night? David, nervous. I could use a drink, maybe. Bo, sure, what you want? Lemon lime? Beer of root? David shrugs and cautiously looks around. He feels the world caving in on him. His once pale face is now flustered and red. He that's supposed to be stare. He stares at a crumpled receipt on the table from the customers who sat before them. Bo, did I do something? I told you that if you ever got cold feet, let me know, DG. David, no. Bo, it's just that I'm afraid. Bo locks eyes with David. He sits down across from him and leans in towards him. Bo, I think you'll be okay. I remember all the hell I caught in my 20s, but over time, you get a thicker skin. Plus, you got me. I'm not gonna let anyone pick on you. David interrupts. Bo, I wish it were that simple. I don't know how to say it any other way. Bo, my test results came back. It's out of remission. David. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Dang, that's the wrong name. Yeah, I need to clean this up. Anyway, Bo, wait. Yeah, wait. What do you mean? You mean you have can't? Restaurant worker interrupts. Here you go. 2 piping hot calzones and a bowl of fettuccine. The worker sets the table as the 2 men look through each other distantly, yet in close proximity. David. Yes, it's true. And I'm shit out of luck. Bo, you don't mean that. You can get better. I've seen you do it. I know David interrupts. This is different. I'm tired, Bo. I'm just so damn tired and hurt. Nothing is working anymore. My clothes are loose. I'm just so weak. Bo, no, you ain't. I just can't right now. This is what you have to tell me? Huh? Do you think that I need more bad news right now? David, how dare you? You are so effing selfish.
The dude just said he has cancer, and he's like, how dare you tell me bad news? What kind of friend are you?
It's like that asshole from what's that movie? God's Not Dead. I have cancer. Really? You're telling me this over dinner?
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay, where's that? Oh yeah.
You think you got problems, huh?
I know, right?
Dare you tell me the bad news? You got cancer. Dare you have cancer? Do you know what this does to me?
Okay, David, how dare you? You are so effing selfish. You are the one I'm supposed to rely on. You. Do you think I want to have cancer? David gets up from the table and runs off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so selfish. I got cancer. What? Dude, I'm sorry.
How dare you be sick?
Yeah, you are so selfish. How dare you go and get cancer?
How dare you be dying on our... We're supposed to be focusing on me, okay?
It's all about me.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. David gets up from the table and runs off. Bo calls out to the waiter as he goes after David. Bo, can you please put this all in the doggy bag? David stops at his Nissan Altima and hops into the driver's seat. Bo stands in front of the car as David turns the key into the ignition. He revs the engine, but Bo does not budge. Bo, you know I didn't mean that. It's just, why didn't you tell me sooner? David, move the hell out of my way. I can do this alone. Bo, please, you don't mean that. Just like I didn't mean what I said. Please don't leave. David, I'm gonna die alone anyway. Go find your happiness with the living, Bo. David puts the car in reverse, but Bo runs alongside him, blocking David from leaving the parking stall. David gives up, accepts his defeat, and allows Bo to enter the car. As he turns the engine off, Bo reaches across the passenger seat to the driver's side and rests his arm on David's shoulders. He pulls David in and brings him to his chest, filling the entire car with the hypnotic aroma of his cologne. David peers up at Bo, mesmerized, and begins to bawl in their embrace. Bo, soothing. I'm not going anywhere, baby. There is a knock on the window. Bo partially breaks. What the hell? Was that supposed to be? Oh, yeah. Bo partially breaks away from David. And
I was going to say, I don't know you wrote it.
No, I was thinking partially breaks. Like, why is he breaking the car? They're parked, but he's talking about breaking away from the hug. All right, anyway. It's supposed to be a breaks away from David and rolls the window down. Restaurant worker, here's your doggy bag. Thank you for your business. David nods his head and takes the food. He rolls the window back up and unbuckles. The hell? It's supposed to be, I'll be mixing these dudes' names. It's supposed to be Bo nods his head, takes the food. He rolls the window back up and unbuckles David's seatbelt.
It's fine, dude. Do you know how many mistakes? Like sometimes I read back my journal or my notes or whatever, and I'm like, how did I write this? This doesn't
really,
make
it's
sense.
like you gotta keep flipping your hat, like flipping different.
Because you're writing it so fast that like your brain can't keep up or something. Exactly. So you write words that are completely like different or just like a thing that came in your head at the time, and so you write that instead. It's so weird.
Exactly, especially if this is like the same gender, then my brain really be like, ugh. Anyway, where was I at? Shit. Hold on for a second. Oh yeah, here we go. So he unbuckles David's seatbelt. Bo, here, I'll drive. David, you wrote the bus up here? Bo, mm-hmm. The men switch seats. David wipes his eyes. He curls up in a tight ball in the front seat and groans pitifully. Bo drives out of the parking lot and heads towards David's apartment. Bo, I remember when I came out to my church. I usually never stood up to share my testimony, but I had a strong urge, as if God was pushing me to finally do it. After I told the congregation, I felt free, yet frightened simultaneously. I was immediately chastised and sent off the podium. I didn't stop.
Chastised, you mean?
Yeah, chastised. Yep. Ugh, the spelling is crap. That reminds me of that
it's
last
fine. I just want to make sure that that's what you meant.
I was immediately chastised and sent off the podium.
That's a hard word, dude. I get it.
Yeah, but I should know better. I'm an English major. Anyway, I didn't stop and sit down with my family. Nope. I just kept going. Went out the door and didn't stop until I was miles away and was too exhausted to keep on. My feet hurt bad from these too tight ass dress shoes. Though I was publicly humiliated, I never felt more free. That's what I want for you. I know that everything seems so damn bleak right now, but you must get that sudden urge to keep trying. I believe that you can fight this thing, David. I do, David. There's no point of coming out anymore. I'm going to die. I don't got much fight left in me. I'd rather pass and keep us a secret. Maybe my family will still give me flowers if they don't know. Bo, crying. You can't. David, it's stage 4. They are sitting at a light. A dirty, blonde, middle-aged man in a rusty white Ford F-150 is peering down in David's car from above. He squints and struggles to look through the Altima's window tinting. Bo looks upward. Fuck is this red name looking at, DG? David shrugs as the light changes and they take off. The man in the truck switches lanes and is now behind them. He notices a Love is Love bumper sticker and sneers at the side of it. Redneck mutters to himself, fucking faggots. David, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
We beeped that, right? Get the time right.
I don't know. I think so.
19 minutes and 40 seconds.
What?
The F word?
No, the other.
Hey, at least I sort of blurted it out. Took the
No.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
It because that is actually how real people talk. So, like,
no,
that's
you're
good,
right. Like, it's fine to have it. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
recording.
like, let's put a trigger warning just in case. I'm just getting the time right, just in case. But it's complete. Okay. Like, I really appreciate how real your scripts always sound. Like, that's awesome. You know, like they sound like real people. Sometimes real people are asses. You know,
yeah.
So that's just the reality.
Sometimes I feel like I'm listening to an audiobook.
Right. Yeah, same.
Yeah, she has that ability. Seriously, you should rehearse for those kinds of things. I'm pretty sure that people, like, that is a job. You can audition for those to be an audiobook reader.
I'm glad y'all don't mind all the mistakes. This is really a rough draft. Like I didn't really complete this till today. Like I
Hey,
told
that's
you, I
fine.
started
Like,
and I stopped it, and I
that's
All
started.
right, you show off. Okay, show off.
honestly,
Please.
honestly, like the first drafts are cool because
She needs to be humble. She's way too good. Okay.
It's the truth. Though. I did this at my job, my night job. I was watching this autistic boy, and I think I told you guys about him already, the crazy boy. And I was literally just
poop
sitting there in the
thrower?
chair typing this. But where was I at? Oh yeah, effing Effets. Okay.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah.
David. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Bo, the hell, man. I ain't in the mood for this SHIT. The redneck
No,
is
you
down.
can say.
You can still say stuff. Like I was just like,
Okay.
We're just like, okay, don't forget to have a trigger warning. That's all we meant.
All right, mind you, some of this I'm reading like for like the first time since I typed this. So I'm walking through this. All right, I ain't in the mood for this shit. The redneck is now riding their bumper and is only inches away. He starts honking repeatedly. Bo. Now I know this cracker ain't tailgating. The fuck, man? Damn. David. He's getting pretty close. Looks behind. This is the last thing I need right now. The man attempts to slightly rear end them to push them off course. The grill of his truck taps their bumper as Bo tries to speed up to avoid him. Bo, hell no, not today. The man changes lanes again, only to cut Bo off. Bo, dismissively, whatever, good riddance. David, did he dent my car? Though he is in front now, the redneck proceeds to stall and drive slowly while glaring at the two through his rear view mirror. Redneck to himself. What? A nigger loving wetback? Just when you think you've seen it all. Now in these parts, looks like I'm gonna have to do something about this now. The man drives normal speed, allowing them to move faster now. David. Hey, he stopped. Maybe he mistaken us for someone else. Bo. Hope so. Guys weird as ice in hell. David.
Never heard that expression in my life. Is that a thing? Guys, I'm not from here. I don't know.
David. Sure. All right,
weird as ice in hell. That's so weird.
David, look, I don't want to give up. I just keep getting worse no matter what I do. And it hurts so bad to know that I might not make it out this time. The redneck slams on his brakes and Bo swerves blindly to the right lane. The two are shaken. Bo, he's really pissing me off now. I swear we need to get away from his psychotic ass. David, let's turn and go to your place instead. Bo, all right. Bo uses his turn signal to go right. It's supposed to be as they near an intersection, he starts to make a right turn, but the redneck speeds in front of him and clips them with his truck, knocking David's side view mirror off. David sits up angrily and digs in the doggy bag, taking out a calzone. David, this might be my last meal. Bo, oh hush. David, I'm serious. I don't got shit to lose. I want this man to meet his maker. He bites into it hard and gives the redneck the evil eye as his truck speeds away mockingly. Bo, you gotta be kidding me. David, that's it. Speed up and follow him. I got something for his ass. Bo, babe, what are you gonna do? He crossed the line, but I ain't trying to go to jail tonight. David, you'll see. Now speed up. Bo,
okay, now he's being selfish. He's gonna die, but the other guy's still gonna be alive. He does something stupid.
Right.
It's like, I get it, dude. I get it. Trust me. But like, your boyfriend's gonna be alive after you die, and he's gonna go to jail. Oh my. David, you'll see. Now just speed up. Bo, surprised that David's sudden gumption, obeyed and was hot on the redneck's trails. Dave is supposed to be trails, singular, not plural. David stuffs the rest of the calzone down his mouth and opens the glove compartment. The Nissan and the Ford are now neck and neck. David reaches over Bo and lowers the driver's side window. The redneck does the same and starts to shout out the window. Redneck, y'all are an abomination. Y'all are violating the holy book. Y'all are going to hell. David, oh, is that why you keep harassing us? Why do you care anyway, you piece of shit? Redneck,
Shouldn't y'all be somewhere in Mexico fucking a burro? Hee-haw. Oh, wait, you already are with that porch monkey you got there. Wow, I didn't know that pets can drive.
Damn, you doing sound effects and all that too?
That's awesome.
Wow, I didn't know that pets can drive. Bo, shut up, redneck. Can it, nigger? He pulls ahead, then cuts them off. David reaches in the glove compartment and uncovers a 9mm gun. He releases the safety and loosens his shoulders.
Is this Texas?
Just imagine him shimmying his
This
shoulders.
Texas.
Shimmying,
Because he's
right?
got a gun. I'm like, no, I don't mean to like stereotype. I'm just like, holy crap, everyone's got a gun. Oh, this is America, right? I keep
Probably
forgetting.
Florida.
He aims the
I keep
muzzle.
forgetting that everyone has a gun. I just keep like, how do people all have guns? And I'm like, oh wait, this
It's
is
pretty
America.
easy to get it. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I keep
Come
forgetting.
on, Canada. This is the States. They have guns everywhere.
I know, I
know.
keep forgetting that.
Trigger
I don't
happy
know why I
states,
keep
right?
forgetting that. I'm just like, so I keep
You
getting
live under a
shocked
rock,
by it.
Priscilla. You live under a rock.
I know, it's so dumb. Like I've been here before, but I keep forgetting every time. I get shocked every time I hear that somebody's got a gun in their glove compartment.
If you was in the 1800s, you'd be like, they have swords? Everybody has a sword?
Oh my God.
Where'd you get that sword? I don't have one.
You can go ahead.
All right. He releases the safety and loosens his shoulders. Just imagine him shimmying his shoulders. He aims the muzzle towards the truck, but slightly lowers it. Bo, David hits the redneck's back right tire 3 times with precision, causing him to swerve. David menacingly, he hauled that, bitch. Bo, no. The truck continues to swerve and the man pulls over on the road's dirt shoulder. He exits the vehicle and shakes his fist at the twosome. His tire is shredded now. There is no one else
Well,
around
now I
in
guess the
sight.
boyfriend's gonna have to die with him. It's like, well, you ruined my life. Let's die together, I guess.
His tire is shredded now. There is no else around in sight. David, pull over, Bo. Bo, no. David, just do it. I don't got anything to live for anyway. Let me have this moment. Bo, that is crazy. I won't let you. David points the gun at his own head. Bo uses right hand to slap the weapon out of his Bo uses his right hand to slap the weapon out of David's hand. The gun goes off and a bullet grazes David's temple. David slams, mind you, so the redneck's car or the redneck's truck is pulled over right now, and they're like slowing down because mind you, they're still behind the redneck, but the redneck is now pulled over. All right, so anyway, they're like, okay, where was I at? Okay, Bo slams the brakes to a screeching halt and the car is silent. The men glare at each other. A thin stream of blood trickles down the side of David's face. So it was gray, so he wasn't like shot all the way. Bo frowns and reaches to touch him, but David brushes him off and steps out of the car. He then jogs over to the now stranded redneck. Bo tags along begrudgingly. They approach the redneck who is kneeling down by the truck, peeling the torn rubber off of his rim. Redneck, infuriated with a deep southern drawl. I ought to kill you. David, I'm already dead inside. There ain't shit else that you can do. The redneck notices the gun and looks up to David's red-stained face. He smirks. And the redneck, I see you were playing target practice with yourself. Not all that bright. But what I do know is that y'all's gonna hand over $500 for a new tire. David, no witnesses, no guilt. Redneck, it's my word against yours. I'm well known in this town. I can have y'all butt lickers right where you belong, in the slammer. Bo studies the redneck's face.
I would just like to state real quick before I forget. Sorry, Charisma. Just that we do say like not to try to avoid stereotypes because that is one of the things in our list. But what like every stereotype we have in our list and the ones we're still adding, there are ways to use them to tell a story if you use them well. Like this is obviously a stereotype, but it's a stereotype that exists and she's using it for a purpose. So to the purpose of the greater narrative of the story.
Yeah,
So
you
we just
clearly know who the protagonist is here. It's not.
yeah, no, but I mean like stereotypes in general, like any kind of stereotype, whether it be a type of person or a situation or this or that. We were making a list of them the other week, and we're still working on them. And the rule was either you don't use them, or if you use them in a way that serves the story, that's different, unique, and important, you know. And this is probably a good example of using a stereotype for a purpose and not just because.
Yeah,
know?
not just all frivolously, like hatefully or anything.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff I like use from experience, only a little bit. Like I remember this man, this racist dude. I saw my dad driving, and he yelled out to him. I didn't know a gorilla could drive, so I kind of
Oh
like
my
used that.
gosh.
See what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah.
this definitely exists, but
Crazy.
that's the thing. You're using it with a purpose. You're not just making everyone a stereotype to make them a stereotype in a story. You're using that stereotype to tell a greater story for a purpose, and that's a good example of it. Because
oh, okay.
these stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason sometimes. So this is a good example of it. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
In
So
the
I appreciate
slammer.
it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Bo studies the redneck's face inquisitively. David, nah, you won't get a cent from us. You don't even know who we are. Redneck, well, y'all don't know who I am. Y'all gonna pay. Bo, no, actually, we do know you. Moonshine 69. David, confused. Bo, what are you talking about? Redneck, right. Bo, DB, you don't remember that speed dating event we went to? David, yeah, so what? Damn it, I forgot to put Bo's name, but Bo, remember the Lone Ranger with that silly cowboy hat? Bo points right at the redneck. David, what? How? Redneck, hell no, y'all got the wrong man. Don't say that shit. Don't say that shit again before I shoot you myself. David, dismissively, he ain't even worth it. The self-hate is strong as good whiskey here. Let's go. I want to spend my last days in peace, not prison. Redneck, last days? Bo, yeah, and we don't like how you treated us, man. We're suffering enough. Redneck, I'm sorry. What is it? Bo, none of your damn bit. David interrupts. No, I'll tell him. I'm terminally ill. I have cancer and I don't need your scrutiny. It's supposed to be nor your pity. Redneck, I don't mean to pry, but my mother has breast cancer. She's in hospice. I've been so angry these past few days. So I've been so full of so much hate. I haven't been myself. I'm actually half drunk right now. Shh. I don't mean much of what I say. I've been trying to make everyone feel the pain that I've been feeling. All the while, y'all's got the same pain. And for that, I'm sorry. Go on with your night now. I'll fix the tire. Bo places his hand on David's shoulder. David stared at the redneck sadly. He then looks to Bo and the couple shares a long glance. Bo nods his head. David, to the redneck. What's your name? Redneck, surprised. My name? Oh, it's Frederick, but my friends call me Fred. Y'all can call me Fred. I'm really sorry about all this shenanigans. Fred sticks his hand out to them. He is vulnerable, but David and Bo both accept the gesture and shake his hand. David, it's okay. I wasn't myself today either. This may sound strange, but maybe we can grab a drink sometime this week? Fred, folding his arms. How about tonight? I have my boy told this thing and we can hit a nice spot in about 2 hours. Bo is now hugging David, who is leaning against him. Bo, smirking. Same place. Fred, rolling his eyes, smiling. I'd be honored. Scene end.
Oh, I almost cried at that ending because it was just so sweet. Because, yeah, we all have something that connects us because we're all human. So that was really nice way to put it.
David pulls out his gun. Just kidding.
No. Oh, God. No. God, Cody, you have to ruin everything. It was a sweet moment. No, but
I know, I was just-
that was a beautiful. it was a beautiful story, and it was such a.
But
a
there you go.
sweet-
That was exactly what we were talking about. Like
You
a
better
stereotype that's
And
shown.
the interesting thing is, like, if you hadn't have waited to read it until the end, if you had just like, oh, this is just another villainizing like all Southerners or whatever, you wouldn't have seen that ending if you had taken the story at face value. It was it was beautiful the way that it showed that at the end of the day we're all human, and that connection, and it had such a beautiful message. That was so pretty. I loved it, and funny too.
Really good.
Yeah.
One thing for formatting is there needs to be a lot more location slug lines. Since we're driving,
Yeah.
it'll be like exterior, interior. And
Yeah.
then when they get out, it'll be a new location wherever they end up. And then once he gets into his car in the first place, it's another scene location change. But other than that, like,
Yeah. I guess because I envisioned it just a long open road, I should have been more specific instead of just saying that there's no one around. It's really just a long open road. That's why I said no witnesses, because literally it just goes on and on and on.
But you
But
just
yeah.
put they're just driving around.
And then you can just add continued, or you can just make
then
it
you
like
just
one
put
long
like
scene.
once they get out, exterior,
Yeah, like we could, I
abandoned
can like paint a
road.
picture of what it looks like around them, like trees and stuff, and like
Right,
Yeah.
because
maybe a
once
house
you're
or
breaking
something.
it down, once you're going to break it down to like actually film it, you need to know every single location you need
Yeah.
to get the story. So
But I'll say it again, guys. This is also a good way to use a stereotype. Like, if you're going to use a stereotype, make it have a purpose and make it unique to the story. And this was a perfect example of that.
Thanks. I be trying to show variety. I don't want to make it seem like I just make urban stories, because I'll write anything that pops in my head. Really, I don't want to come off like.
But you,
I don't wanna be
you love the
typewriter.
drama, like the heartstrings. You're good at tugging at them. The last story made me want to cry. This story makes me want to cry. What the heck?
I'll try
This
not
story
to
do
use
not
guns
make me
next
want to
time.
cry.
No, it's fine. If that's your talent, if that's your passion, those are the stories you want to tell.
Every
I got
story
stories
makes
without guns,
Priscilla
but
wanna
for some
cry.
reason, I throw a gun in there here and there. But I do other stuff too, other than just guns. So
you hear
Every story makes Priscilla cry.
Well, I do easily cry. Yes. But really, when I can feel something, when a story makes me feel something, that makes me happy. Like when there's a moment of genuine human connection, when there's like a moment of humanity, because we all have those moments. We all live through those moments. So the fact that people can portray them so well in a script or in a movie or in a show, like that is magic to me. That's incredible, and that's one of the reasons I love media. So I just love the fact that, like, you're so talented. You can make people feel that, like, you have a genuine talent for it.
thanks.
One other critique I would have for it is just the amount of description. I feel like
Oh yeah, maybe some more, you'd say?
no, I would actually
Or
say
less?
less.
Oh,
Less.
okay.
Like more in between like certain things, but like
Oh yeah, there are definitely some descriptions that you could have done with like body language and stuff instead.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of
explaining body
almost comes
language.
off like storybook, a short story, like, huh?
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
off of a book instead of script as much. So like that
Don't
would be
worry, I
something
got that
I
same
feel like it was
problem.
kind of like it's good, but if it's not as important, I would leave it out to make the story
Yeah,
a little
like kind of
faster.
filter it through, kind of like, what's the word? Like comb through it, kind of. Yeah.
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 Just edit some of those things. It's the same thing what Lakota did to me, man. He just shut my script down with a whole bunch of
Oh
red
gosh,
ink
They like doing that. They like
about there going Brandon's nice, like we going, but it's it's a little more detailed. Tell me where you're at, which is true, because you reading it, narrating it, we understand it. But if I was reading the script, and you definitely want to be a little more descriptive of some of the things, and maybe cut down on some of it. Like,
yeah, it's easy for the writer, the person
draft.
writing it, to.
No, yeah. Like I get that. I'm just trying to like leave some notes, just for like.
Not just crazy.
Listen, a rough draft.
I'm trying to look at it as a
And
way.
I'm sure
like,
you
if
could
I
probably
was gonna
notice that
create
you could probably notice there's a lot more. It seems way more script like with the last one compared to this one. 'cause,
Yeah,
like, that
definitely. The
already
other one was a lot more short story. Like the other one had a lot more like.
Yeah, you're getting much better. Much better.
Everyone is like, it's so awesome to see.
No, everyone else.
Oh,
is- and
shush,
me and
Brent.
Priscilla.
Get better too.
Me and
Brent, you should
Priscilla
have
is
been here
not
when we
getting
read
that
the
good.
B script. We
Hey,
would.
if I do my Bible say,
Okay,
not
okay.
getting that good.
Watch the record.
It doesn't make
Go
sense
through
in
B
Portuguese.
script
It
and
literally
take
translates
notes.
to "go
That
take a
doesn't mean
bath."
it's a bad script. It just means, yeah, there's things that need to be changed, updated,
weeks,
fixed,
right?
improved.
It's a polite way of saying "go f yourself," but it's literally translated to like "go take a bath." So it's just weird, but it just means like, oh, whatever, you know.
Anyway, Brent, even professionals have to go back and make a new draft and a new
Definitely, yeah.
new draft.
And also, I've noticed that sometimes, like when you're writing, it's better to not focus on being perfect. Of course, you want to get as much detail in as you're writing, you know, and have that, like, you know, the slug lines and certain things just be like part of habit, like good habit, and then just flow. But I noticed that, like, you want to flow the story when you the first draft and go back later for technicalities, because if you get too technical, it's better to get the whole.
Yeah, definitely. Good ideas. Good advice, Sarah. Because at first you just want to get your story out there and you just want to get it on paper and get what you want to tell. And then you can focus on making it in the format. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
good.
even like the best writers, you know, everybody has second drafts.
Yeah, some people need that format. Some people need that structure. Some people work better like that, like
Yeah, like
getting their
Colin
story
said,
out first.
he wasn't able to write a script out, and he kept being like, "Yeah, I just can't." Every time I do the format, and we're just like, "Oh, we'll just write it out, and we'll point out all the formatting issues." Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't need to be perfect. It's a first draft. Like that's the point.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's like, it's funny. I find that it's not the technical issues that are usually the hardest for like writing. It's actually like getting your ideas out and not being too self-conscious about it, because that's mostly, and what I've noticed stops most people is one, the discipline, and the second one is being self-conscious. Because anytime someone's writing, it's like personal. It's like the way your brain thinks. You're writing something creative.
Yeah.
And building tone for
Yeah,
me, like
anytime you have
building up suspense, a feeling, tone. It's so hard because you have to make that build up. I feel like comedy feels like it's so hard to write because you have to like get that energy across. It's also about energy, so it's just crazy to me. But one advice
I
that I
think
would
the
also
energy
give you
comes
guys,
with the actors, because you can have write a good script, and if the actor don't portray it the way it is, it could come off as being a corny. You know.
definitely.
It also comes out in the edit afterward too. Like if an actor does it, they can chop it down further or put a beat in to make it more or less funny. So
like there were some
comedy's all
examples
about
in
timing.
Sarah's script that Coda was reading and he was like, I don't understand. Does this make sense? And I was like, honey, don't read it like that. Read it like this. And he was like, oh, now it sounds, yeah, you're right. It does sound like it works. And I'm like, it's just the way, sometimes it's the way the person's reading it or the way it's being interpreted that, which is why I was also going to give you guys a tip that I'm trying to do more and that we hope to implement in the second semester as well, is reading more scripts. If you can find them, scripts to movies you love, to movies that you thought were well written, get them and read them, because the same way that reading a lot of books makes you a better writer and gives you a better vocabulary, I feel like reading more scripts will sear that format in your mind. Yeah. Because you'll see it so much that you'll get used to it and you'll just know how it's supposed to be. So I know, of course, we don't have as much time. Maybe if you can, it'll probably sound like garbage. What I tend to do sometimes, Siri speak the script to me. It won't sound perfect, of course, because it's Siri reading, but I do that sometimes. Either Siri or Google will just read out the script while I listen. If that doesn't help for you, maybe just taking like a time in your lunch break or before bed when you would normally read a book and read a script, and study it and sear that information in that format in your mind. Yeah,
like it'll help just to get you used to it. Get used to like how it's written too. Like especially if you're reading something that's close to what you are writing. If it's like in the same genre and it's the same kind of story, you would get like the ambiance and all this stuff in it and see how it flows together in the script as you read. Okay, what were you saying, Sarah, before toothbrush talk?
That is all.
It was about your script.
That is all. Thank
Does
you,
anybody
Sarah.
else have any
That's all
tips,
for now.
constructive criticisms, or feedback for Sarah for her script, her first half of the script?
No, I'm pretty sure Charisma hit it on the nail with that, and pretty much stop laughing while you read it. You know?
Practice reading it to yourself and try not to laugh like a maniac.
I didn't know that we were gonna be reading scripts.
But we don't judge here. We get it. You're just a little nervous.
Yes, we
And
do judge. What are you
I just
talking
broke
about?
the ice.
Well,
So
Brent
now-
judges
do
because
judge.
Brent. But
We have to judge in order to give good criticism.
no, I mean not in that way. Like we don't judge the way she's reading it because she could be nervous, she could be anxious. That
No.
could be her coping
No,
mechanism.
we don't have time for that. We straight up gonna let you know if you suck reading it.
Okay, Sarah, go to therapy. That's my judgment.
No,
that's
Sarah, I
what
like
we
your accent when you're reading it.
I
It's
have.
just the laughing. You gotta stop laughing. I like the way you're reading your accent.
Yes, no, I agree, but I want to point out that writing is such a dark thing and sharing it, it's like breaking the ice. Now it'll be easy to write more dark stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so crazy that both you guys, the way you're reading is so different. But it's like, I like it. I really like it.
Awesome.
Charisma has a
I-
little,
Oh, go ahead.
Charisma is almost like she has a mixture. When I listen to her, I think about a narrative. I think about an audiobook and also think about cartoon character like the Boondocks.
She could be the
With
female
Riley
Morgan
and-
Freeman.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah. No, not the Boondock Saints, the Boondocks with
No, I know what you're talking about. I just said Boondock Saints.
yeah, the Boondock Saints, right.
Boondock's
yeah,
a
it's
little
really
like
good.
they're cartoon character kids, right?
Yeah. With Riley, he's like, damn nigga, you gay. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I was
But
just gonna
very
say,
good,
guys, I
I'm
am
very
so
proud of you
proud
guys
of
writing.
all of you. Yeah, I was gonna say, like
No,
you guys are
I'm
all
proud of
awesome
them.
and incredible, and you make me so embarrassed that my stuff is shit.
You should be embarrassed, Sarah. Priscilla.
Your stuff isn't shit. It is the shit.
Yeah.
I compared to you guys, are you kidding me? But like,
Oh my god.
but we all have our strengths and weaknesses. I
Yes,
guess.
and me and Priscilla weakness is writing scripts.
I'm still gonna keep trying though, Brent.
Brent, stop trying to push that you can't write a script just because you're lazy and don't want to.
Damn, I got it out of him. You see that? I got Lakota to get nasty. Yes.
And that's a hard thing to do. Like for real, Coda, I don't even know when he's mad. He never cusses, and that's the only way I know when he's mad. Because like he is the calmest person. You can't tell when he's like starting to get mad
No,
unless he pulls an F
this-
word out. Then you're like, oh.
This Coda I like. I like what you said, Coda. And it's not lazy, but I do need to make time.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
but
I feel like
definitely-
your
I just don't
reservations
like how
Sarah's
much
had.
excuses you're making, and you are all your first few times you were in our meetings, you're like, no, don't say you can't.
Yeah,
No, don't be
yeah.
negative.
You're like, don't
And
use
now
the
you're
word
like,
can't.
no, I
Don't
Priscilla.
use the word this.
I'm
Priscilla,
not
let-
good at
you
this.
cannot tag team. Let Lakota go in.
No,
This
I'm
is
his
moment
wife.
of
That's my
shine.
job.
This is Lakota moment of shining right now. Let him shine.
All
Let
right,
him be
me
the
start out.
authoritative figure.
First few weeks, you were like, no, don't say no. Don't say can't. Don't be negative. You can't do that. You got to always be positive and it comes true. Words have power. And now you're like, I can't do scripts. That's the worst
Mr.
thing I do.
Contradictor.
Nah,
You know what,
nah,
Lakota?
Brent. You got to
You
believe
100
you can do it.
You're 100% right, and I appreciate that. And I thank you very much. You
Yeah.
are totally right. I'm speechless. I have nothing else to say. I'm muting
That's true.
myself
And
now.
at the end of the day, look at it this way, Brent. Even if you don't become like the best screenwriter or scriptwriter, you still learn more about how
Look
scripts
who's being
work
negative.
and how
Look
to
who's being
read.
negative.
I'm saying even if I use the word if. Anyway, what I'm saying is you will still learn how scripts work better, how to read them out better, how to understand when it's a good script, when it's a bad script, how to like read dialogue, understand dialogue, when it flows, when it doesn't. And that will help your acting career as well, because you will learn
Absolutely.
how to distinguish a good script from a bad script. So
Absolutely.
this is also
this will help, like once we start getting later on, it'll help you to know like how the scene's probably going to be set up, and if you're
Yeah.
where you would be, where they would have you be, where they'd have you go, where they'd have you
Right.
turn, all that type of stuff. So
Got you.
scripts is the foundation, and from that
It
you
is.
build off onto everything else.
Absolutely, I agree.
All right, I'm going to share my screen, show what we're doing. I think all we're doing this week is just writing scripts like we have been the last few weeks.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Let's see. So what are we in? We're in week 10. All right, so this weekend into Monday, try to get your guys randomly assigned elements scripts done. We're trying to see if we can read those on Monday. So we'll go through because we'll read out what we gave everybody, and then we'll see the script they came up with those 3 elements they had. So try to get that done. If you can't, then we'll probably go through that maybe on Thursday. But other than that, that's pretty much all we have this weekend into next week. It's just writing. We're just writing the 3rd scripts or the 4th scripts that the 4 scripts are the random elements. So write that one first. And then if you still haven't written the other scripts, go back and rewrite those. But
because we know that like you guys should have some time, so you don't have to stress about meetings or this or that, and you have time that you're kind of like, well, this would be a time where I would be doing a meeting, so I'm gonna like still use that time and write my script, so that there's no excuses like, oh, I didn't have time to write it. We're giving you time.
Wait, there's no meeting? When? There's no meeting?
No, there is a meeting, but like Monday, it's to discuss the script.
Oh,
Monday
okay.
it's to like look at either have your idea ready, hopefully, or I mean, if you don't have time, then that's fine. But
yeah, or you can brainstorm with us if you want to be like, hey guys, what do you think of this idea? Or hey,
try to
I
at least have
wanted
your
some help.
log line for the random element script by Monday, because we'll be going over everybody's scripts, seeing what the ideas were that they came up with, or actually reading the scripts based on what we gave you guys like a week ago, I think. And then other than that, what we're gonna do is on Thursday, I might break down my 3rd script. It's not ready yet, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think instead I'm going to what was the other thing I need? Oh, make a shooting schedule for the 2nd script, since we went through it last week of the I'm sorry, we went through it on Monday and we broke down the script and I showed you guys how I did it. I'll show you guys how we can kind of come up together with ideas of how long each scene might take. And
if you guys want a brainstorming session as well, like that would like another brainstorming session like last time. Like, hey guys, so I've been thinking of this idea. This is a piece of it I have. What do you think
I
would
like
make
the
it
idea
better?
about learning how to figure out how many shots you need for the scene, and I like that. I definitely want to work on that.
that is not. I'm not going to do that yet. That's going to be next semester.
Next semester, yeah.
That's a shot list.
Our next semester
To make like a
will be
really
after
good
Easter,
shooting
if I'm not
schedule.
mistaken,
To make a
right?
good shooting schedule, you will need a shot list so that you know how many shots you're going to have to cover. This is just like a preliminary, like a one that a producer might do to see like how long this is going to take, how many days you might need to schedule, that kind of thing. So
Coda, our 2nd semester starts April 17th, correct?
let me check.
Or this one ends April 17th, one of the two.
Oh yeah, somebody was asking us, and if anybody feels like they know anyone that might be interested in joining, or if you guys know any websites or groups that have filmmakers that are interested in this kind of stuff
that you think we should share on.
In like a week or two, we're going to start promoting this again for next semester. Next semester starts May 3rd.
Oh, May 3rd, okay.
To August 14th, and we'll have July 4th through 10th off. But yeah, we're also going to be taking a week off coming.
After April 17th, right? Because that's when the 1st semester ends.
The week of March 28th to April 4th, we're not going to have anything because that leads up to Easter. And
What's
then
April 17th? Because I remember there was something that day.
No, April 17th is the last day of this semester.
Oh,
we'll
okay,
have,
okay.
like 2-week gap before we start the next one. That will give us
Oh, okay,
get
okay.
everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
Give you guys a little bit of a breather, a break. Also, next semester we will be having. Sorry, honey, just this last thing before I forget, because you keep telling me to remind people.
Yeah,
The next semester we will have a specific part of the course where you can expand or learn what you want to. So if you still want to work on screenwriting, for example, you can get a group and brainstorm with them. We can maybe break the meetings up and like have one group working on acting, one group working on screenwriting, and that kind of thing. Or
it's really going to depend on how many people we get and how many
Yeah.
people want to do certain things, and we'll have to see. But the plan is next semester to study cinematography, working with actors from like a crew perspective and a director perspective, like how to block them in a scene and all that kind of thing. Film documents, which would be like the shooting schedule or the shot list, any legal form, stuff like that. And then this, like she's saying, the specialized learning would just be like, I'm already glad to see that Sarah, V, and Brent, they are all getting together to start doing practicing acting and stuff, because that's kind of going to be what it's going to be like in next semester. We're going to try to get like these small groups that maybe somebody wants to focus on screenwriting a feature length film, and then we'll like try to help them find other people that want to do that, and then like have you guys work together, and we might chime in and leave feedback and all that kind of thing.
That's dope.
Outside of the main learning things that everybody's learning together generally.
We
Absolutely.
thought that'd be good for the people who want to specialize in one specific thing to get a little more knowledge of that specific thing as well.
Yeah, because then it gives you like, because it really helps me with this is giving me dates to get things done.
Right.
Instead of being like, yeah, I'm gonna write a script at some point. You have to like, yeah, I need to write this because it's kind of like it's due next week, you know, that kind of thing. So it really helps me to get it, especially with the reading. Like I know we wouldn't have been reading as many of the chapters of the books if we hadn't set up our weekly book study on Wednesdays. So, so yeah, that'll be next semester, but we'll talk more about that in a few weeks. But this week, just work on your 4th scripts, at least the ideas, if you can get them done. Monday we'll be going over that, and yeah, and then just like finish any scripts that you haven't been able to finish yet, if you can, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, just gonna keep plugging away, working as fast and hard as you can without, drying yourself up completely. But yeah, that's what it is. This is awesome, and having a ton of fun, and you guys are cool to work with. I really appreciate.
Oh yeah,
this.
one other thing I wanted to mention is we might I want to start making some videos like with Priscilla about like some of the like here's what we learned this semester. So that
right, Raphael's idea with the video testimonials.
Yeah, somebody was saying like that we might Raphael, I think, gave the suggestion of like getting everyone to give a like kind of like a testimonial thing, like, oh yeah, this has helped me do
If
this.
you guys want to like
I've been
maybe have a
learning.
video message of like, hey, we love this group, it's so much fun, this is what I've learned. If you guys want to, we just thought it would be really fun to show the community, and we've kind of built like a little community here, and how we all support each other and all that. We thought it'd be really sweet, and it would be great for us to remember like how it all began and all that, like we could make like a really like those sad videos at the end of like high school or whatever, where you see the scenes of the friends and like those videos of like hot life in the group or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, so it would be like an intro to the channel, so that whenever we post it on Craigslist, it would be easier for people to understand what's going on and what this thing is. So we're thinking of doing that sometime in the next few weeks before we start posting it up. So we'll ask you guys all about that later, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up. And I'm going to stop the recording right there.